Hi guys, and welcome to Old Men Moaning. Well, actually, Old Man Moaning. Mr. Shark, who's my partner in crime, will be here sometimes. He's very shy. Right, you could call me at the moment Mr. Sea Trout. Now the reason we've called ourselves after fish names is because that the last 2 litres of the S&P, Mr. Salmon, and what's her name now? I can't remember her name, mate, so think of it. Do you know the one? She looks like she's sucking on a weasel's ass in the morning. Anyway, alright, today we're going to have a couple of moans. Alright, because that's what the name of the show is. Old Man Moaning. Or in this case, yeah, Old Man Moaning today. Right, now, what the hell's going on in the country? Yeah, pardon me, I'm going to have a sip. Yeah, what the hell's going on in the world? Alright? At the moment, we have War of Worlds. See who's got the biggest dick between North Korea and America. Yeah, both of them have got big buttons on their desk to fire nuclear weapons at each other. I wish the buggers would actually grow up, guys. Right, grow a set of bollocks, meet face to face, stop the stupid antics, and get down to it. Okay? Right. I have nothing against the president, because I actually consider any politician a thieving, lying, backstabbing scumbag. And I'm being polite when I say that. Okay? Not one of them can be trusted. Alright? They all belong to the top 15%. Alright? Especially the Tories. They're all millionaires. So when they go, we're all in it together. Why didn't you try living off the dole? Now, me personally, I've got a job. So I'm lucky. But there's a lot of people out there, including the young people, who do not have jobs. Why? They don't have their opportunities. They don't have the skill set. So why are they not having skill sets? You may ask yourself. Well, ask me. The reason for that is when I was their age, 16, 17, or I was 15 when I left school, yeah, I went at the job centre. They went, yep, okay. What would you like? You have to register. So I registered. I went in, registered, went upstairs, because that's where all the jobs were, and downstairs was where you signed on. Yeah? You went upstairs, right, and you sat down next to a nice lady, and you went, she goes, what would you like? I would like a job, please. Thank you very much. And she would give you a wad of cards, remember, that big. And she would say, go on them and see if you can get any of them jobs. No, I was lucky. First go. Got myself a commie chef job. Commie chef, by the way, just basically means a trainee chef. Right? But a commie's chef job. Okay? Now in those days, it wasn't the businesses that was running. Okay? It was down to the workers, and everybody was thankful for the workers. Okay, nowadays it's totally different. Now again, I'll go back to when I was 15. Pardon me. When I was 15, there was further education places. Yeah, one, you could stay on at school and get your higher. So I was in Scotland, so that'll be A levels or whatever equivalent in your country. 2, there was university, which, let's be honest, at that time I couldn't and I wouldn't have gone. I went to college and university in my 20s, okay, because I was not forced to leave school, but as my grandparents brought me up and my granddad was into forced retirement, they said, you have to get a job. So I did. Okay, now what? And so you could stay out at school up your hires or A levels or whatever it is. You could go to university if you've got the qualifications. If your qualifications weren't that hot, you went to college. However, there was one other institution at that time, and you didn't need to have qualifications. You just needed to know your stuff, and that was a technical college. Now, at technical college, it's what it says. You know, you go on courses, you can learn plumbing, you can learn mechanics, you can learn anything you wanted then, right? And you could actually do your GCSEs or O levels or whatever the hell they're called nowadays. Yeah. And what would happen if you were there full time? You were sent out in the world of work for a day or 2 days a week. Yeah, and you got experience, because that's where it comes from, the experience. Yeah, the youngsters learn from the oldsters. Yeah, and they exchange ideas. Some of them are good, some of them are bad working practices, but they still learned. Nowadays, there's unemployment for the young is too high. Why? Because companies now want people to come out of education, go in there and know exactly what they are doing. Bollocks. And I'll say bollocks, and I'll keep saying bollocks. How do you expect someone that leaves school at 16 or 17 to know banking? So what we need to do is look at the education system. Right? When I was in education, the schools that I went to, especially the secondary schools, went into certain things. Right? If you needed welders, there was mechanical engineering, there was some types of welding that you could actually do as a youngster. But nowadays, it's, what can I say, too dangerous. You act like idiots. Well, not all of them. Because when I was at school, I got burnt a couple of times by some of my colleagues, and what can I say? It's a learning experience. Anywho, right? So we need to have a look. We need to bring back a training system for the unemployed, and especially for the younger people, where they can get in if they're interested in plumbing, right? But it depends on what the area. The schools or the colleges need to look at what is required within that area. So if there's a shortfall on mechanics, or a shortfall in welders, or a shortfall in metal fabricators, or a shortfall in carpentry or bricky or whatever, and they should try and use the people and see what talents the kids, see what talents they got. Christ, when I was at school, we built a goddamn fish pond in the school. Right? The mechanical engineering guys at the school used to service the minibus. And remember, these guys are only 14 and 15. They were getting experience then. So what the hell's going on? Right? The education system in the United Kingdom is shit compared to what it was. Okay? There's kids leaving school who can just about read, if they're lucky. So we need to look at the basics. So I said to Theresa May, look at the basics and stop hiding your fucking head in the sand. I'll say it to all the leaders in Europe and worldwide. The children are our future. If you do not invest in our future now, then we're going to be buggered as years go by. Alright, next topic. And I did say it was going to be all moans and groans, but there's going to be some light-hearted stuff as well. European, or better known as Brexit now. Now I voted out. Now the reason I voted out was basically, one, I didn't like David Cameron, and two, the main reason was the fact that Mrs. Merkel allowed all the Syrian refugees into Europe without discussing, without her being the leader of Europe. Alright, the French were leader at the time, and they're just a bunch of lapdogs, but hey, at the end of the day, she made an illegal decision. So, a lot of the British turned round, and it was a horrible rainy day, and voted out. However, there was a load of people who didn't come out, who are now crying that they would have voted in if they got to the polls. Guys, if you want to vote, you get out there. You do not ever go, oh, it's raining today, I won't vote. Because it's not going to happen. yes, I think you're right. I think we need a different boat, right? Because all the politicians had to do was go up and go, right, listen, we're going to put up our borders. We're going to choose who we're going to let in. Yeah? That way we wouldn't be in the mess we're in today, which is basically we let a load of Syrians in, and we also let a load of freaking terrorists in. Okay? And that's what it boils down to. So, what we're going to do now? We're leaving. Bye-bye Europe, even though we're going to regret it over the shorter term. I think that over the longer term, what can I say? I think that things might get better. I still regret leaving Europe because I actually quite like Europe. Yeah, I haven't got any problem. Never had any problems with Europe, but I did have problems when certain people who are not leader or anything to do with this country turn round and make decisions for us. And that's where part of my problem lies. Okay? I'm not the kind of person who turns around and says, I can't be asked, you do it for me. Right, next one, David Cameron. Now look guys, I take pops, I'll be taking pops and throwing an odd insult here or there at politicians, but at the end of the day, whoever is bombing them and tweeting them and whatever, right, and sending them threatening emails and stuff like that, stop it. It's bloody stupidity, right? And if you get caught doing it, you'll get nicked. It's as simple as that. Alright? You don't want to be nicked over some stupidity, right? If you don't like your politician, don't vote for them. Vote for another one. Okay? That's as simple as that. It's a free country. It doesn't mean it gives you the right to freely turn round and say send threatening emails and tweets and Facebook stuff and whatever you're doing. Stop it. It's only in the minority, but it's just stupidity, just pure stupidity. Do not threaten your MPs. If you don't like them, vote the buggers out. That's the best way, and that's a democratic way. Just like the way I'm voicing my stuff now. Okay? It's the best way, it's a democratic way. But I'm not threatening them. I'm not threatening anybody. Yeah? I'm not, it just makes me so fucking angry. But hey ho, there we go. Right, what are we talking about? Oh, politicians, the lying, backstabbing scumbags of the earth, yeah. Right, I don't know what they're up to. I mean, I don't think they know what they're up to. A friend of mine, Mr. Shark, who you will meet eventually, did say that I think they needed a department of common sense. Now, it's normal people like you and me standing behind the MPs, and when the MP gets up and makes a stupid remark, we hit him with the back of the head with a rolled up newspaper, which, to be honest with you, sounds pretty good to me. So let's have a look at unemployment is coming down, so they say. Well, it's a bit, they fudge the figures, let's be honest, right? You've got all these little job clubs that they transfer you to, or they use slave labour. That's where they'll say, to get experience, you're going to work for this company for 6 months on your dole money. So basically, you don't get paid, you just get your dole money. Universal credit, it's a total fuck up. Okay? The rise in homelessness is unbelievable this year. Why? Because the thing that's supposed to work doesn't work, and it's putting people on the street. Child poverty is getting worse. Right? The NHS, well, that's getting to a point where it's breaking down. You know, Virgin's, I think it'll be Virgin NHS soon, the way things are going. But hey, that's down to the government. End of the day, guys, fix the NHS, right? Stop the foreigners. We've got nothing to do with this country. Stop them coming in and getting free Medicare. Alright, now this is where now the old argument of ID cards come in, yeah? Where a lot of people are turning around going, oh, well, we don't want ID cards, it's against our privacy and citizenship and stuff like that. If we had ID cards and we carried them around, right, it can double up for so many things, okay? It's a form of ID. If you passed your driving test, it can be your license. But when you go to the doctors or the hospitals in another town and they ask you for your ID and you show it, medication, you will be seen free of charge because you pay it in your taxes or your national insurance or whatever. Yeah? If you cannot produce the card, then you have to pay. Right, it's going to get in the wrong side of some people, and I can understand why, yeah, but at the end of the day, that's the way things are, right? If you come into this country to work, you won't be allowed to touch anything, unemployment or anything, until you've worked in this country and put money into this country through your earnings for 3 years. Then you will be able to claim. But quite frankly, coming over here and claiming straight away, you're taking a piss. Alright, so tell me your views on ID cards. Well, we'll discuss it a little bit further. Alright, I'm going to stop this at the moment because I've been ranting and raving for 17 minutes. So, alright guys, see you around. If you want to discuss something, fine, just let me know. Drop it in the bottom of the item box. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, stop the hate emails and tweeting and the whinging, right? Remember this, the politicians are there to serve us. They work for us. We do not work for them. Alright, till the next time. See ya.